What's up everyone, OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be taking a look at two different first-person shooters on the Nintendo Switch and which one you should buy. And that is Panic Button developed, Bethesda published Doom, and Wolfenstein II, the new Colossus. Now I know what some of you guys are thinking, wait a minute, why are you making this video at this point? Doom and Wolfenstein II have already been out for 6 months to a year. And you know what, I agree, it seems a bit weird. However, I still get questions by many users out there asking me, yo OJ, which one should I get out of these first-person shooters? A lot of the times the people don't have as much money to buy both of them, or they just kind of want somebody else's opinion on a first-person shooter for the Nintendo Switch to pick up, because there isn't a lot of options out there. So I decided that, hey, I've put in time to both of these games. Let's go ahead and take a look at both of them and see which one you should pick up if you want just one first-person shooter on your system. So let's go ahead and start off with Doom for the Nintendo Switch. Developed by id Software, the studio that pioneered the first-person shooter genre and created multiplayer deathmatch, Doom returns as a brutally fun and challenging modern-day shooter experience. Relentless demons, impossible destructive guns, and fast, fluid movement provide the foundation for intense first-person combat. Whether you're obliterating demon hordes through the depths of hell in the single-player campaign, or competing against your friends in numerous multiplayer modes. So I took a look back on Doom because I played the game when it originally launched. I created a lot of content, did let's plays, did multiplayer, did live gameplay events with a lot of the users on here, and I actually have some pretty fond memories of the game. But I did go back and look because they've updated it quite a number of times since I last played it. They added in Gyro Controls, which I did take a look at, which not necessarily for me, but it's still a good addition to have. They updated the resolution and the textures, they updated the frame rate, so they did make improvements to the game from when I originally played it. So I had to go back and take a look at that, and everything is very solid here. Panic Button, the team who ported this game over from PlayStation 4 and Xbox One to Nintendo Switch, have a firm grasp on the system. And yes, it's not quite as powerful, it doesn't quite look as good as the other systems, but what they've done here is absolutely incredible, especially brushing things up after the game has been released, because everyone kind of thought this is the best it's going to get or look, and they even went back there and made things a bit cleaner on there. So I can respect Panic Button for that, and they did the same thing for Wolfenstein, which we'll get into as well. So what makes Doom a really good first-person shooter on the Nintendo Switch to play, and in a genre that I'm not fond of? I'll be honest guys, I'm not the biggest first-person shooter fan out there, but these two games are worth comparing, and Doom in particular is probably the first-person shooter that I've had the most fun with in the past like 10 to 15 years, and I'll tell you guys the reason why. Doom on the Nintendo Switch is fast-paced. It's not a slow, clunky type of shooter. It's not a methodical type of one where you're just kind of slugging through. It's very quick, it's very fast, it's a very speedy type of game. The game design, when you're going through the levels and you're kind of navigating through, it's built in a way to where you can get through the levels quick, and yet you can still have that level of exploration to where it's not like a corridor-based shooter. And that's one of the things that I love about Doom a little bit more than Wolfenstein 2. This game has more open-ended areas, but yet you can still kind of march through it and rip demons' heads off. It's a fantastic type of game for first-person shooter fans, and if you like that style to where it's not necessarily like a huge open world, you're not going to get that, but then again, it's not so constructed in. If you want something kind of in between that, that's where Doom kind of comes into play and is a lot of fun to play on the Nintendo Switch. And the controls, the graphics is very well done, so I do like Doom for that. The game also has a nice multiplayer mode as well, with server-based multiplayer on there, and it's very interesting how they set up the online, because all the stuff that you would see, for example, like the invites and the parties and all the different multiplayer modes, all of that is included on the Nintendo Switch. Everything is there as well, so it's a great package to play online with your friends or also offline in the single player mode. The campaign has a lot of replay value, has a lot of upgrades upgrades and things that you can do to enhance the gameplay experience. It's not just shoot, 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 and not upgrade anything. There's a lot of cool things that you can do as well there. So I do like that about Doom. I like the challenge rooms. There's just a lot of stuff in there that's really fun to kind of get into. Now, moving on to Wolfenstein II, the new Colossus. This game kind of disappointed me just a little bit, and not necessarily because it's a bad game, but because I feel that it's a little bit of a step down in comparison to Doom. So let's go ahead and get into first Wolfenstein 2 and what it is for those who don't know it. So your mission is simple: no more Nazis. As renowned hero BJ Blazkowicz, you set out to take back America from the Nazi regime with your brand of freedom fighters. That is, if General Engel doesn't stop you first. You are the Nazis' #1 enemy and the only thing standing in their way from global takeover. No pressure, right? With an arsenal of powerful weapons to dual wield, unusual contraptions, and your trusty hatchet, nothing will stop you from liberating America. So this game with Wolfenstein 2, it's not as open-ended as Doom. The levels seem a bit more tighter, kind of quarter-based type of shooting, especially early out. Now, there are some levels that do open up towards the end, and those have some questionable performance on the Nintendo Switch. However, they did go back and update it a bit. They made things a little bit better when it comes to the resolution and frame rate. They added in some better and tighter controls, so I will give them that on there. But I think the biggest reason why I like Doom over Wolfenstein 2 and kind of what that game does is more of just like the pacing of the game, the style of it when it comes to your upgrades and what you can do, the whole demon runes and everything. To me, it's a more engaging experience when it comes to Doom over Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus. That game is more of like a traditional first-person shooter, maybe like an old school style, which is what it's aiming for, but it adds in some new things. They do have the dual wielding in there. They do have some nice stuff with Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, and I do like some of the pacing. The story is really good if you're into the story. I'm personally not into that style and kind of how they did it, but I can see how others would really like that kind of story and the history and everything like that they kind of infuse into the game. But overall, to me, it's just the gameplay that doesn't stack up quite as much, and you're getting a lot more replay value with Doom on the Nintendo Switch, because not only do you have the challenge rooms and some of the other things that you can do in the single player, the upgrading and all of that, which I find the upgrading system and what you can do to your character far better in Doom than Wolfenstein, but it's also the multiplayer. Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, does not have any multiplayer at all. Now, it has replay value with the single player campaign with multiple difficulty levels and other things that you can kind of tack on, collectibles, things like that to get, but Doom also has that as well, in addition to a full fleshed out multiplayer campaign. And that's where ultimately where Doom to me is the better buy, because of that expansive multiplayer experience in addition to the single player experience on top of what you actually do in Doom and the themes and the setting. To me, Doom is just a better game, offers more value, and if you're looking at the prices on the Nintendo Switch when it comes to it, these games aren't discounted much. They've had discounts here and there, but I was looking through on the prices as of the time that I'm recording this video, and a lot of them are still $59.99 when it comes to certain retailers, right? So it's not like there's going to be a huge price gap. On Amazon, at least here in the US, I wasn't able to purchase Doom at all on the system. There was not a Amazon like directly from them. You can go from third-party resellers. The price can range anywhere from like $30-something to $40-something used, which is fine if you want to do that. But if you wanted a new copy, it's still ringing at $59.99 at a lot of places. Wolfenstein 2, I was able to see it for $50 on Amazon, although you can get it cheaper from third-party sellers or even finding it used somewhere else as well. So price-wise, they're going to be about the same, or it's going to vary depending on where you live and kind of just what's going on with the game in your area probably. So it's one of those things, kind of looking back and comparing and kind of putting them together, I'm going to definitely go ahead and pick Doom. If you're going to pick a first-person shooter to play on the Nintendo Switch and you only want one, you don't want want to overload on them, don't want to buy multiple ones, I think Doom is the shooter to pick up. It has the fast, fluid gameplay. It has the upgrades that I like in the game. It has the controls. It has the gyro. It kind of has everything that you would want in a Switch game. They went back and made updates to it, and it has a fantastic multiplayer, which is the difference maker when it comes to this comparison. Outside of the other things that I said, the real big difference maker here is definitely the online multiplayer and the value that you're getting for that over what Wolfenstein II offers, which is the experience that's good, but not up to par when it comes to Doom on the Nintendo Switch. So what do you guys think about these two games here? Have you guys played them before? Are you guys going to make a decision on which one to pick here? They're both good games in their own right. I think Panic Button has done a great job. My own personal opinions on the story and other things aside, I think that they're both good games, but I would definitely pick Doom if I had to pick one. And if you can get both of them, obviously it'd be great if you can get both of them. So what do you guys think about the comparison here when it comes to Wolfenstein II, the new Colossus, versus Doom on the Nintendo Switch? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We've got our social media pages, Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow. Really helps out the channel. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video. Peace.